Hello, gods and goddesses, and welcome to another episode of the Goddess Chronicles. I am your host, Elevar.Maximus, and today we are talking about meditation and how it can improve your life and your mental well state of being. Let's get into the episode. So, let's talk about meditation. When we talk about meditation, I used to think people who meditated were boring. Let's just be honest. When you think of meditation, depending on who you are, it could be seen as boring. Let's just be honest, right? I would be like, why would you meditate? In all actuality, this is the path to self-actualization. And this is why people don't want to do it. And this is why people are scared of it. People do not want to go inside and face themselves. I'm going to tell you about my journey of meditation. So I remember I had a friend and she started meditating and I thought she was so lame. I was like, why would you do that? And then she started doing yoga, and I'm going to be honest, I did not support. I was just like, you're changing. Why are you changing? But she needed to make that beautiful change and to excel her life. And when she excelled her life, that meant moving out of my atmosphere because we were no longer a vibrational match. And at the time, I was in a lower vibrational state, and I didn't understand that. But that's exactly what happened. And she went on to do beautiful things. And I totally understand now. This was years ago, but I see where she was going. And it was a beautiful place. And I couldn't go there because I wasn't ready yet. Now back to my journey of meditation. So when I started to awaken, I was having a lot of questions about myself. Who am I? Where do I want to be? I kept feeling like I was a person divided. Like I had two personalities in here but I couldn't get them in union. I had my old self and I had my new self, and they were battling for control constantly. My old self wants to go drink and party, and my new self wants to sit and read a book about self-development. And I struggled with this for like 2 to 3 months. And the only way I could reconcile this was to go deep inside and see these two selves as who they were, to come into unity as one. How did I get here? When I first started meditating, I got a book, and it was talking about strengthening the mind and about ways to strengthen your mind. And one of the first exercises that they gave me was count from 100 backwards and do not let any other thoughts in. And this was hard. This was very, very hard. Because when you meditate and you have unresolved issues, all those things want to come in and pop in, and sometimes you're not ready to face those things, and those are the things that want to come up, that want you to look at them. Sometimes it's just trying to distract you, and it's little things like, oh, I gotta mow the lawn, or oh, I need to call somebody back. But then sometimes it's the bigger things like child abuse. When you were younger, your inner child's calling you, or maybe you have an addiction that you need to face that you don't want to talk about, that you don't want to look at. I worked on that for about a week. And I finally mastered it, right? And I was able to count back from 100. I actually did this exercise the other day because I really needed to focus in. And I've gotten so good with my meditation. I was able to do 100 standing on my head. And I was like, okay, I still need to dig deeper. So I went from 200 all the way down to 0. No problem. So that's what I mean. You can get stronger. If you're facing your issues, you can get stronger, and you can do a meditation like this, but it takes time. Maybe you don't start at 100. Maybe you start at 30. Maybe you start at 10. Just start. Doesn't matter where you start. These thoughts that come in, they will try to distract you, and you need to, depending on where you're trying to go, as I've heard, let them go on white puffy clouds, okay? Those distracting thoughts, you see them, you acknowledge them, and then you let them go. And you continue to focus on the subject that you need to focus on. And this is one way I was able to break through. So, like I said, I can meditate now from anywhere from, because I don't need to meditate that long like I used to. I used to have 3 to 4 hour sessions of meditation in one sitting. I don't need to meditate like that anymore because I've worked through a lot of my issues. My meditations now are usually 30 minutes to an hour long. And let's talk about the music. I started out with traditional meditation music. And it can get you in that very, quiet mind state. But here's the fun part, right? That you have to start to walk before you can run, okay? That's, I want to say, the baby step is like the the lining the chakras, I don't want to say slowness, but you got to start somewhere, okay? You got to start at, A. You can't jump from A to Z. You can't jump from A to F. And that's where I started, okay? And as I started to face and tackle my problems, I was able to advance in my meditation music because I could handle different types of sounds coming in and it not distracting my thoughts. So I moved from, let's say, traditional meditation music to chants, mantras. I love Middle Eastern mantras because they're beautiful. They help me. They will help you. DMT music as a meditation, because then don't start at DMT because it's too much. DMT music to meditate to is advanced. Will really explode your brain is a good way to put it, because first of all, you're going to be releasing a lot of negative energy and built up things that need to be released. And at the same time, you are getting a hit of dopamine at the same time. So your brain is expanding. Let's put it like that. Your brain is expanding and you're coming up with these new ideas and you're working on these issues and you're talking to your spirit guides and your ancestors and your support teams. Okay. We're going to make a whole nother episode about how to get in contact with your angels and your higher self and your support teams. And I just keep finding all this music that makes meditation fun. So let's put it this way. It starts out kind of boring, but we're ramping up to fun, okay? And meditation can be fun because you are looking at yourself. Who are you? What are we doing? We love ourselves. So why does this have to be boring? It just kind of starts out that way because it's hard. To what I call ambient cosmic music, which for me was like cyberpunk music. It still had no words, but then it would still like jazz up the music, right? So I'm still having fun, still releasing the negative energy, still elevating my mind. I still listen to that every day to start my meditations because it's something that can get me pumped for my meditation, and it's just fun. I enjoy the music. Everybody has their own different style. Whatever suits you, whatever you're guided to is for you. This is just my journey. And then I've gotten to the point, I don't do it as much as I'd like to, but just whatever music you like, you can meditate to. Nobody talks about this, right? When you think of meditation, you think of that yoga music, you think Om, you think boring. No. Like this morning, I don't know if you guys have Spotify, but I have a playlist that I have on mine, and it's called Hot Since 82. And it's more of like EDM dance music for dancing. But for me, I have come to such a point with meditation that I can listen to anything and I can meditate. This is mastery, okay? This is mastering meditation. If you could listen to anything, you could listen to nothing and you can meditate. It doesn't matter what the music is. But for some reason, Father God wanted me to come over here and tell you that meditation doesn't have to be boring. It is a beautiful path of, like I said, self-discovery. And I was just sitting here and I was like a little bit dancing, a little bit meditating, talking to my ancestors, talking to my guides, having fun. They're like, you need to go tell people about this because people have the wrong idea about meditation. And to get to the point of, let's say, listening to your own music that makes you happy, that brings you joy, is such a beautiful thing. Like, I'm listening to EDM and I'm meditating and I'm getting my messages and I'm having fun. And that's the other thing I think of the reason why they want me to tell you this is because if you are connected with your ancestors, guides, and support teams and your angels, you will get messages through the music about your life or what's going on in your life or situations that pertain to your life. So whether you're meditating or not meditating, sometimes music will just be a way for your angels and your ancestors and your guides to communicate with you. So listen to the messages, take heed, and take note. Okay, gods and goddesses, that's all I have for you today. I'm sending you all a beautiful hug, and I'm sending you beautiful love and light. Namaste.